Chairman Gtext Holdings, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and then we have GE in terms of sales for Gtext Holdings, Mrs. Vivian Amici, and my name is Farouk Usman. I'm CEO of Gtext Homes, and also I handle our corporate language.
Thank you, Mr. Farouk. Okay, so one thing I'm excited for to hear is because Gtext Holdings is 16. I don't know if anybody's excited, but I'm excited as I am. I think if anybody knows this brand well, I think I would say that I know this brand. I've known this brand. I've followed this brand for a long time. I've been a part of this brand for a long time.
I appreciate your presence and welcome to Gtext. First of all, I want to thank God Almighty for keeping us alive to see today. Ours is a story of a very, very humble beginning. Very humble beginning. We started in a very humble way. I still remember, and just like my media aide said, she also used to come to that particular one-room apartment in Olabisi Onabanjo University. It was my room, but it was my office. You know, our first employee, our full-time employee, because a lot of them used to come work for me partly. But our first full-time employee was a guy who was in CWES 3 months. I didn't want to leave Agori. So he would resume in the morning that 12 by 15 feet room apartment, and then send him on errands, and then he would close at 4 p.m. go home. But right from there, I was sure that we had a great future, and that was why we registered the company. So our first company registration was, in fact, it's certificate carried from 1st May 2020. What's that? So company registration was a sole proprietorship, and it carries 21st May 2008. Prior to that, of course, we've done several businesses. Some failed, some ended at by the roadside. But at May 2008, two major businesses were big into was one was a foundation where we were working with orphans. We used to organize several events. In fact, that used to be bigger than the for-profit business because it was a non-profit that was very big. We usually had events. I remember one of our biggest events is called Mentor and Orphan. We bring orphans from orphanages to Silverbird Galleria. Then it was Silverbird Galleria that was the biggest location, and invite successful celebrities to come mentor them, have spend the whole day. We'll pay for movie, we'll pay for lunch, we'll pay for popcorn and all of that, transportation to move them from different orphanages. Sometimes we're bringing people from 7 orphanages across the entire Southwest. And then the for-profit business then was bulk SMS. We used to sell bulk SMS, 75 kobo per unit, 1 naira per unit. So, and that one started with just 1,000 naira. We had a fellowship. They wanted to do a conference, and they gave us 700 naira. Then I added 300 naira to it. So those were the businesses we had. But at some point, I got frustrated with our, our NGO, because I remember people would promise us heaven and earth. We would plan big programs. Nobody shows up. We are running to debt. So I said to myself, enough of this frustration. Why not build my own business and profit from those business, or what out of that business we can then do charity projects. And we're grateful to God today, because that's really what we do. So you may not hear much about for non-profit, but we're doing amazing stuff, and I think the CEO will soon talk to us about that amazing stuff. even for this anniversary alone, we're giving away 16 million in grants to small businesses. I think one of the awardees on that way here, maybe you interview her. So we are now able to do a lot with our foundation. I think I will argue that maybe we're not making enough noise about it. Well, I hope the CEO will work on that. But I think the reason why maybe we're not loud about it is because it's privately funded from what we do in terms of course, we get few friends who donate here and there, but we're passionate about educating people. Our educational program has seen over 10,000 kids that we have paid their tuition fee in the entire 16 years lifetime. And on a yearly basis, we have hundreds that who are involved in working with time to time. Occasionally, I get report cards of, in fact, there was a particular one that is dear to me. So I went to one of our estates and I saw this young man. I think he probably was 11 years old. So he was doing carpentry work, and I said, "This is child labor. I mean, we travel all over the world, and we know what I mean. We go get away with a lot of things here." So I immediately approached the carpenter who was a subcontractor and said, "Why are you having a child, work with you?" He said, "Well, he's the son of my sister. The husband had died. My sister asked me to, at least let him have a skill because she could not afford to pay school fees." And I looked at it, I said, "Go and tell the mother from today to whatever level I'm responsible for his tuition." And we're going to get him uniform, enrolled him in school. I think his first report card was showing D's and F, right? And so last report card, and that's why it's exciting for me. All I saw was A's and I think few B's, right? Yeah, I think A's and few B's, right? So even the B's were no more than the two or so. The rest were A's, and that shows improvement. And who knows what that guy will become, right? Who knows? So for me, entrepreneurship, and that's why I keep begging Nigerians, whether those in public service, whether just private people, we need to stop this hatred for companies. When companies become big, there's just a natural hatred. I remember I was granted an interview, and then some clips were posted on our social media, and then you need to see someone attack and say, "Don't mind them, politicians who stole our money, and they are now on TV talking rubbish." So I had to reply. I said, "Did you even Google my name? I've never been in public service, right? I've never even taken government contract in my life before. So because I dress in agbada and I had a particular cap, the assumption is that he must be one of those politicians, right? So we need to sensitize Nigerians. Businesses, when you see a business that is growing, it's not the founder you are seeing, it's the people who have job. Those people who have job are paying their house rent, so landlord has money, right? Those people are paying children's school fees, so school is able to run, and that school too employs people and pays salary of those those people. Now, when you come against such business, and that's why I tell people of the press, verify information before you just carry it. Right? When you begin to write things about such a company that is not verified, that you do not hear the version of the other party, right? And then investors panic, and then that company shuts down. Just know that you have stopped somebody from going to school. Just know that you have affected a landlord from getting rent and also sending his own children to school and feeding himself. Just know that you are taking food from a lot of people's table. And I think until we start seeing businesses that way, even those who call themselves regulators, right? You know, I hear things. I have announced publicly, for example, I am no longer the CEO of Gtext Homes or Gtext Holdings. We now have a group CEO. He operates from Dubai, right? And he comes to Nigeria regularly, Mr. Rana, right? As soon as we're able to stream, he will have even joined us as well. But he's doing his media runs this week. I think told me he will be joining virtually across that. I'm now chairman, meaning I'm a shareholder. I want the company to do well and I get good returns. Yet you will still see letters from government agency addressing me, insisting I should show up. I don't even get it. I don't understand. Don't I mean you can't say you are working for government, you don't know your law. That a business is an entity on its own. And there's a difference between Stephen Akintayo and the company Stephen Akintayo owns. It's different, clear different by law. Right? But you will still see. So for me is I'm hoping that we learn as a people to begin to change how we run this nation. You know, let's clap for the chairman of our advisory board for one of the subsidiary GTS Land, Chief Mike Okiru. Welcome. So it's shocking for me, like I said, when government agencies still want me to show up for something. When I have said we now have CEOs for each subsidiaries, it's their job to show up. I don't know that you understand. Or their representative, right? When somebody grows to become a chairman of a company, means he's now majorly focusing on shareholding and getting profit, right? So the business now has structure. You can ask people in the company to represent the organization. And I think maybe when I sue one government agency, they will learn their lesson, right? Do not address me as the CEO of Gtext or invite me on anything that has to do with my company, right? Because there are people that have been employed who have been sanctioned to do the job, and they are available, and they are equally capable, and they've been in the system for years before they grew into that position. So ask, make enquiries from them, but when I'm always drag here and there or ask question here and there, right? Because for example, like I said, as we expand internationally, they do research, right? One of the things we're targeting is to be able to bring into Nigeria from our international businesses, by the grace of God, over $1 billion in the next 10 years, right? That we'll be able to bring into the company. That's part of our vision, that's part of our goal, you know. And for me is that when we don't manage the narrative well, these international investors, right, we ask questions. When we just carry informations we didn't research. I give you an example. One particular media newspaper house just carried the news one day. I use my picture for that matter. That a man said we're owing him 75 million naira, and he says if I even put my name, Gtext Home State Akita is owing, you know, a property agent 75 million. Okay, and I'm asking, I guess the evidence they had, the petition of the person. Where is the agreement between GTEX and this person that they will pay you 75 million? None exists, right? Also, why put the face of Steve Akintayo? It's a business transaction. It has nothing to do with him as a person. Are we together now? And yet they carried that news, and it was all a lie. We had to involve the police. They invited the so-called person who said they are owing money. They ran away. Now, the man who sold the land to the company, they then invited him. They said, your agent said he has not been paid. He said, which agent? They mentioned his name. He said, I don't know this person in my life. He said, I even thought Gtext brought the person. And this man wrote, different petition here and there. And then newspapers carried it. So, my appeal to us is that we want this company to keep growing. And we want this company to be a company that one day we will boast that we have employed 100,000 people in Africa alone. That's our prayer. And that we're hoping that according to our vision 2035, that by the year 2035, we will have built 25,000 houses. We will have raised, over 200 estate locations across Africa. And we'll have financially empowered so many people and employed so many people. But if that dream will come to pass, we all have to see this company as our own, right? And as well as several great organizations that are doing the type of good work that Gtext is doing. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Kutaya, for that enlightening fact and what the plan is to celebrate the 16th anniversary.
All right, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, my distinguished chairman, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good thing to know that Gtext Holdings, as a group of companies, began with care for others, charity. And then the love for charity is what has led to the growth and expansion of Gtext Holdings today. So as a fallout from that charity foundation on which Gtext Holdings began, we have the Stephen Akintayo Foundation. Now the foundation, in over 16 years, has been able to pay school fees of over 10,000 indigent students. Parents could not pay fees for their children. Over 10,000 have been paid. That's not all. Do you know that also in over 16 years, we have over 5,000 widows that we take care of regularly up to date. We regularly feed them and take care of their basic bills. This is done by the Stephen Akintayo Foundation. Now, celebrating our 16th year anniversary, we have 16 million to give out as grants. A few of the winners of the grants will be here, and I'm sure you're going to review them yourselves. Now, this grant is to help families, start up small-scale businesses and grow. Also, to mark the 16th year anniversary, on Saturday this week, we'll be going to a part of Lagos, okay, to have over 500 widows that will give some little amount of help to help their household sustain themselves. Then by the upper week, we'll be going to a Ikorodu part of Lagos to also have the same number, over 500 widows that we attend to give them some basic allowances to take care of their basic needs at home. This is a consistent thing that we do as the Akintayo Foundation. We want to ask, over the years, first you heard about how in the initial time, it was difficult to even take care of paying for bills, like going to Silverbed, malaria, to pay for bills, to take care of people for free. Today, with the large art of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, he has written 42 books that are on sale. 42. And more are on the works coming out that are on sale. From these books, we generate income to fund the foundation. That's one. Two, we also run a lot of programs. We have what we call masterclass programs, real estate masterclass programs. We have mentorship programs from which we generate a lot of money to fund the foundation. Now, all these programs will run throughout the year in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Houston, in Dubai, London, in Ghana. These funds don't go into the pocket of Dr. Stephen Akintayo. They are planned back into the foundation to take care of these over 10,000 students that are still paying school fees for, and then over 5,000 widows that you're also taking care of their basic household needs. So we have this expansion program we run throughout the year. From now till December, the foundation will be busy running different programs to generate funds to enable us meet our charity obligation. So we're also calling on well-meaning Nigerians and people in the diaspora to also join this drive to help grow and sustain this laudable and lovely initiative by the Stephen Akitayo Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Barry. So,
Good day, everyone. Good day, Chairman. Good day, and above my constituents. Every other person, thank you for being a part of this. My name is Bukola Lipton, and I'm the COO of Gtext Holdings for the relaunch of the 24/7 operations. Can you hear me at the back?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, we relaunched it because we're looking for better ways to serve our clients, and we did that in 2021, and it truly worked out. So we are always looking for better ways to serve our clients. How do we ensure that they are constantly in touch with us 247? So wherever you are in the world, you can send us a message, you can make payments, and within 1 hour you get your payment through, which was what really worked for us. So we are always trying to bring everything that works, that's worked for us in the past, bring them back to limelight to ensure that we serve our clients in a more better way. So that has been working. We've been getting feedback. We've been in touch with people. We have assigned wealth advisors to each client, based on whatever need they want. From there, we're able to solve their problems. We're able to look into whatever situation it is. People send us messages time to time. You will rest assured that you will get feedback within, the space of period of time. You will get feedback instantly. So yes, it's just a very good way to reach out to our clients, to stay connected to them, and ensure that we are always available to solve whatever problem that they have every time.
okay, thank you, Bukola, for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I always say that security is a collective responsibility, not an exclusive job of the police, agency, or organization. Everybody should contribute to security and security of the environment around you. Gtext is aware of this, so making sure that the estates are secured, that the occupants will know that the security has been provided for them, and they sleep with their 2 eyes closed. The state-of-the-art security measures are taken in security in all the Gtext estates, that people should relax, sleep, and do their business. That's the essence of what security in estates. We don't just to build it and make money. We want people to feel secure. So sometimes people live outside, we even come to the state. No security. That's the sense.
Is to have a food bank here in Nigeria and even in other parts of the world. Our goal is that everywhere we operate, like we definitely now the Akira Foundation is also registered in the US, and the US version is thinking of opening food bank in Houston as well as in Nigeria.
I think that's yes.
Part of the vision is also to have schools that, of course, is a paid school, but what we want to do is to make sure we give as much as 50% scholarship, right? Because what I've realized is that if you do school and you call it free, and that's the one issue we've seen with foundations, sustainability. It's not just, it's easy to start something that you're doing for free, but how do you keep doing it, right? What funds it? So for us, we're looking at having schools that is not cheap. However, we're able to make it free for 50% of the pupils there. So those who really are rich, it's almost like you have a good model. Those who really are rich can pay good money for it, and then intentionally we now go to suburbs, look for very brilliant young people, and then offer them from boarding, tuition, everything, uniform, everything free. Same thing we're looking at for hospital. Same thing we want to do, even with orphanages. Imagine having a very world-class hospital, and of course, it's not cheap to run a hospital. But imagine you are now able to every month have a good portion of your profit, 50% of your profit, to now do free operations for people, go to rural areas and do projects and things like that. So for us, those are even bigger projects that Mr. Laga Foundation will be doing as the year move on. Of course, also is that we want to enter the rest of Africa. We know we've been doing a lot of grants, but the grant has been more restricted to Nigerians. The goal is to expand that to different African countries, as well as also countries where we operate. For me, my rule is we can't be doing business in a place and not give back to that same place. So we want to do business in even where we open up estates. One of our rules is any local person who has a skill, except they don't have skill or they don't have integrity, right? They must be part of the subcontractors, whether it's metal work, whether it's carpentry, whether it's supplying sand. And it's been part of the reason, like Baba Makikiro said, where people go for all our estates are extremely secure. We've never had even any crisis because the security measure with the wisdom of people like Baba Mike being the chairman of our land business, he has been able to make sure that he's given the wisdom to, even from acquisition to, of course, the process of construction. We've never had a situation, I mean, you hear stories about real estate companies, even to go and inspect the land, they are killing people and we've never had such an experience because, like I've always said, when the wisdom of elders meets with the strength of the youth, miracle will happen. So for us, what we have leveraged on at the Gtext holding level is the wisdom of elders like him.
Thank you very much, sir. So,
By saying that 25,000 houses and the 200 estates is called the Vision 2035. So our goal is that by the year 2035, we want to control that number of projects. Of course, our estimation is that that should be about $20 billion, when completed by 2035. Internationally, the goal is also to control another set of houses worth $20 billion. You are aware of what we're doing in Houston in terms of our estates, and they're all green and smart. So we're conscious of climate, renewable energy, and what we realized in recent times is that it's been very difficult to fund housing projects in Nigeria because of the fall in the naira versus dollar, the increase in cost of construction. So what we've done is to move at our pace in Nigeria when it comes to building houses, but to acquire more lands. So now we're opening, in fact, we're doing pre-launch for our Aba and Owerri and Enugu estates in the east. We're launching Kaduna very soon. So for us is that if it's difficult to grow building houses the way you would have wanted, because the challenge we face is when you tell a customer, give me 150 million, I'll give you 5 bedroom. In a space of 6 months or 12 months, you need 250 million to finish that same 5 bedroom. Now you become like you don't keep your words. Then they start chasing with EFCC, who has no business with civil matter, right? But yet they will start meddling in, affairs that. And so Nigeria, like I said, the government institution has become a major frustrating block in growing businesses in Africa, right? Will EFCC say they do not know that the cost of building a house has increased in recent times? So if somebody comes and reports and say, I paid for this house and they didn't complete it, is it not common sense to say, but we all know what has happened? What did they tell you? Oh, they asked me to pay more money. Well, do you want to take more money, or do you want to get your money back? If they are not giving you your money back, take them to court, right? It's a civil issue, right? So we're finding that a bit difficult, but what we have noticed that some people who understand that situation are still going ahead to do business. They're still paying us for houses, and we're still building houses, but at a slower pace. However, what we've decided to do is keep expanding the land, right? And we buy more land, we fence it round, we provide security on ground. Those who also bought the land, who can afford to start building their house, they build, they start living there. And that's what we're doing. However, internationally, we're now expanding houses. We have in Valdosta 20 units of a 3-bedroom townhouse we're selling at the moment. We have for a couple in Alabama, we did fix and flip. In Houston, we launched last 2 Saturdays a 21-acre land where we're going to be building 60 units of single family home, ranging from $600,000 to $1 million for each of them. And our vision is that we want to aggressively expand in the US and Canada in the next 5 to 10 years, and then be able to repatriate some of our profits back to Nigeria to now be able to accelerate building more houses. So at that point, it's our US corporation that is loaning the Nigerian corporation to build houses. And at that point, we use our money to build. Well, if you can afford, you buy. If you can't afford, we're not in a hurry, right? And we can sell at our pace. Because we realize that it's easy to access funding in America than in Nigeria. For example, all the expansion we're doing now, in fact, I was called by our finance consultant last night that we just got approval for $9 million for um, the Houston one we launched 2 weeks ago, right? So it's a lot easier to get funding in America than in Nigeria. So our goal is we're able to use this free funding that is available. It's not free, it comes with a loan, but it's flexible. As you know, I think you're looking at between 8% to 11% interest rate. But over time, we're able to then use some of our profit, bring it back to Nigeria, and then accelerate the construction of houses in Nigeria. But as to regard to why are we doing charity? Well, 16 years ago, I was a student on campus about to graduate. Obviously, I couldn't have been having ambition to join politics. And if I have, I think 16 years is enough to have joined politics. And I don't think my fame as of today, with over 2 million followers on social media, I think I'm famous enough to do politics if I want to. But for me, I think that the reason why our political landscape is shallow is because everybody rushes into politics without building capacity, right? Because if you get there, these things are not easy. It's easier said than done, right? Even those of us in private sector, we know what we're going through. We know how difficult it is, and it still is, expanding your business. So you've never done anything in your private life, and then you just want to jump into public life, and you think that that is the reason why our public institutions are weak, because people rush into our public institution to lead them without having any capacity. I've said it over and over again, and I will keep repeating it. If a man has a farm, right, he has a farm, and that farm did not expand in how many years that he left power as a military person, and then comes back and says we fight corruption, he's as righteous as anybody else, and then you expect him to do magic in 8 years. We all know how it ended, right? So my own argument is we need to focus on building capacity as young people. Not everybody run into politics up and down, politician, honorable what? Build what into your name, add value, right? We need to raise men like institutions, right? And that's really how to change it, because ultimately, those who will really hold government accountable is not the rich. Anywhere in the world, go and check it. And it's also not the poor.
anywhere in the world, go and check it, is the middle class. Who creates the middle class? It's the rich. Right? Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie in America were the people who created America middle class. And it was that middle class that really now held the politicians, right, and even the rich as well, accountable. So, but in Africa, we don't even have a middle class. And then we want a perfect political system. When we keep talking, it won't happen. Because the middle class is neither poor nor rich, right, but well educated, right, and and of course very much opinionated, and they are the ones who really, and they are large as well. Once you build that heavy large middle class, you will see Africa change. So for me, I want to focus on that. I think that's really the priority, and not whether you're joining politics. And if you join politics now, there's limit to what value you can really add as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, thank you very much.
Separating my name and my the company, right? So I, I, so again, I'm not against being identified with the company. I mean, it's something we built over the years, and we're proud of where we are. What we are just saying is that one, you cannot carry information that cannot be verified. There's a reason why, and I think in fairness to me and Gtext, my media aide is somebody you all know, right? So before you carry somebody, you can even reach out to her and say, we heard this story.
And I'm very available.
Right? Exactly, and say, we heard this story. Can you, at least let's hear the company's version, right? Then you then go carry what hasn't been verified, and then you put my face on top. That's possible, right? I don't think that is right. I mean, if it's some good news and you put my face, I don't mind. Okay, but unverified, information, I don't think. I think it's fair to even put the company logo. If you, I mean, there's difference between me and the company, and then you think the company has one issue. I mean, it's normal to business. Businesses have issues, right? You can't grow at the level we are now, and there are no issues. Normal. But to put it on, particularly because I, on the other hand, have other things I do with my personal name, right? You can say, okay, Tony or Dangote. I mean, they are not into public speaking, right? They are not invited internationally to do core public speaking or mentoring people or teaching people. It's part of what I do, right? Also, I mean, I also do business, international. I'm opening a lot of doors internationally that really, sectors that really you hardly find Nigerians there, and they will do background check, right? They don't know whether these things that has been written were facts or fiction. They will raise it up. Then you now start explaining, and then shalaye what, and they don't even. It's difficult for them to just understand it, because you can't do such publication in America and you will not be sued, right? And you will not be in trouble if they win. In fact, the entire media house can be shut down because of the liabilities that come from it. So they don't know that Nigeria is different. That people can just bully you on social media, and even accuse you of what they don't have evidence about. So please, again, it's an appeal to say, let's separate the two persons, right? Whatever is GTEX, let's call GTEX. It's grown on its own. It has its own reputation. It has a whole board of advisors. It has its own team of people who work there. Over 300 employees, direct and indirect. Over 15,000 marketers who sell for us all over the world. I mean, at that level, I think it's a grown entity. Even a 16-year-old child, I think, is grown, right? So, to the question of bulk SMS, I would say bulk SMS and tech, right? So, we were wise to have seen the future of bulk SMS 2015. And 2015 was one of our biggest years. We became a household name consulting for big multinationals.
But we saw the future. We saw that the future wasn't strong, and I'm grateful to God that we were smart to have expanded into real estate. It was 2015 we expanded to real estate, because what then happened is, I think 2 years later, there's a law that came in, anti-spam law or something, right? And so what that did was that you no longer can just send bulk SMS in bulk like we used to do, and so that affected that. Now, other tech businesses as well, we all know what has happened to a lot of tech companies, from even e-commerce to a lot of them struggled on issue of funding. It's still the same funding issue, right? And so what GTS decided to do was to say, we are still a tech company, because ultimately you can't build a smart home without technology, right? So, but let's have a strong financial base, so that as we now go back to tech, we can sustain it. It's not as if we will have worked so hard, somebody will just buy us out. And because we don't have the emotional sentiment attached, when we go and start a new one, like many of the guys they bought out, and some of the new companies they started grew like the first one that they were running before they were bought out. But there's also that place of hunger to building the business, right? And at some point, even though the business is big, that hunger and that emotion and sentiment is there, that we work so hard for this, and you want to keep seeing that organization keep growing. So yes, we're back in tech. A lot of softwares are in the pipeline, um, in terms of technology. Also even digital marketing, we are back, but we're just subtle. So a lot of very powerful people in this country are handling their social media brand behind the scene. Many of them, of course, I didn't charge them for it. It's a trade by barter in exchange for access to them as well, to pick their wisdom and to learn from them. But I think we're back, and very soon you'll be seeing a lot more. So, for example, our digital marketing is evolving into what we call a new company called the Steve Akida Production, right? So we're going to be involved in movies. So in the next 2 years, watch out for our movies, watch out for a documentary, that will start coming out and all that. And of course, we use tech and social media to drive that. I hope I've answered that. Low cost housing, that for you to do effectively low cost housing, you have to follow what works. So how do they do low cost housing in the UK, for example? A private real estate developer goes ahead and build an estate or a housing unit, okay? And then the government come, we call them council flat, and then pay to get it subsidized, right? In some other parts of the world, like even Rwanda, I think they do that as well. The government will give a private developer land, okay, and so that already reduce the cost of building the house. Am I making sense at all? Also give the developer some measure of off-taking, right? So some funding as well, and then he brings the remaining part of the money. And at that point, the house can be cheap because he got the land free. Some cash was also given, and GTS is very much open to that. Not just with the federal government. I've said it. If President Tinubu wants 10 million housing for Nigerians in 4 years, I can deliver it. Right? Take it to him.
Okay.
Right? I can deliver it. Right? Whether international guys we need to bring in, just give me land. Right? I mean, see what's happening with the coastal, Lekki coastal road. Do the same JV with us and see what will happen. Whether we will not literally build houses in millions. All this insecurity we keep talking about are largely because of the fact that our forests are left unguarded. Nothing has been done. I've said it before, I think on Channels Television, give me Sambisa forest and I'll build skyscrapers there. Dubai has done it. You saw what the miracle we did in Dubai in terms of our expansion in Dubai. In 1 year, we became the largest black-owned brokerage firm in Dubai. And we've learned a few things as to how to do real estate, in those parts of the world. And if you bring in development to these areas,
some of these terrorists will even beat the workers on site, right, and turn things around. So there are people who can do that. And by the way, that's now the type of politics me I'm interested in. Let's build houses for our people. And but yes, that's how to then do low cost housing. I mean, you have EFCC, you have police. Baba will probably talk about how he influenced the police starting estates, right? We have all these government agencies, we have customs. We can build houses for them and make it affordable. All of them have lands all over the country that they can partner with us to build houses and make it affordable. They give us the land, drop some little capital as well, and then we will do something affordable.
Can we tie to the question?
Administration, my argument is that there's a need to rejig the system. Some ministers are performing. We all talked about the Minister of Interior. See what's happening with passports ahead now. There will be 48-hour visas and a lot of, so we can see those perform. Even the CBN government is doing a great job. I mean, compared to where we were coming from, right? So we've seen a few agencies of government under the new administration doing exceptionally well, and we've seen some that have gone to sleep. And we think that the president definitely needs to get some people to do that. But overall, I think that the president meant well. I think he's sincere. I've seen certain decisions that show that he's sincere and really wanted to change this nation. After all, what does he have to lose? You know, he's at a phase of his life that what is left is posterity and legacy, right? And I believe that hopefully we'll achieve that. We need to be patient with our president. We don't even have a choice, right? Till another 3 years before the next election.
Okay, so I think
We're feeding widows next Saturday as well. Yes, thank you for reminding me. We're also giving one plot extra. Anybody who buys 1 acre is getting one plot extra. Yes. We're also giving a brand new car to our marketers. We have a pool of over 15,000 marketers. So we're giving a new target. Those who hit that target between now and June 1st. So during the dinner, we'll unveil whoever won or wins the car. We're also giving out a couple of, there's a lot of giveaway to customers and push that. We're giving the grant 16 million to support small businesses. So there's a lot. I mean, we're big on give back and giving and giving. I mean, like we said, the company really, in fact, the first arm that was known about us for the first 3 to 5 years was our foundation. You know, not even the business arm became more visible, I think, just in the last 5 years.
okay, so we have another.
We had over 3,000 virtual attendees in that program. So we set the criteria for those who attended the program virtually to qualify for the grants. So we had those who were able to participate in the program throughout the 1 week without fail. Those who were able to take the quizzes throughout the program without fail. Those who are couples, husband and wife, who have a business that they run together as a couple, because the grant is for families to sustain and grow their small businesses. So we have couples who are husband and wife who run business together. Okay, so we put that as a criteria. And we had people who won based on this criteria. And some will be here today to receive the grant. So we got 5 from our conference. Okay, we'll be coming to take in 1 million naira each for that.
Then it was $5,000. So they are also part of the numbers that made it 16 million. So their own version is $5 million. Then I think 5 million was 2.5 million. So we're still 3.5. So it was still at that rate of 3.5 that they are doing. Yeah?
5,000.
Yes, $5,000 to support. But those ones are the more rigorous than the family finance ones. They went through a whole. You want to talk about that part?
Yes. Because we're focusing on businesses, we had them to verify the kind of business that they are. So the grants were spread across different months and different aspects of the economy. So for example, we had a grant that focused on women empowerment, we had a grant that focused on agriculture, we had a grant that focused on sent us their proposals, right? We looked at it, they now did a defense on how their business can also empower people in their community. We did a very transparent live voting process. We came on Instagram Live, we interviewed them, and the viewers also chose who will become the winners of those grants. So those are the rigorous ways that we did. So
For last year, aside this 16 million we're giving, how many people got it last year?
So
they already gotten their money.
already got to given about 5 of them, and we have about 4 that are also receiving money.
Okay, so that means last year that was five. That's $25,000.
Yes, $25,000 have already.
So, Mr. Sheikh, you have a question?
Yeah, it's just like
Our business during crisis. I think one was mentorship, right? I had to leverage on wisdom of a lot of people. There was a time as well that we had to, that's when we connected with Baba Market to because our business is quite challenging, security issues every day, media issues. We felt that because there's no challenge you have that there's no one person, right, that has been there and that has an answer and that has solution to it. There's somebody who knows a way out. And one of the things we leverage on was then connecting with these people who are older, wiser, and picking up their advice and counsel. And it has been helped. So my advice to a lot of people is look for people. There's somebody around you. And many of them, because a lot of time people think it's all about money. Sometimes it's not about money. Because many of them are looking for to grow that posterity. It's not like Baba Mike now, it's all about posterity for him. It's not about how much money does he need, right? It's to make sure that I'm behind institutions that are doing well. I'm behind companies that are doing well. I'm supporting. I've done public life, right? It's now private, right? How can you still support a lot of other people in their private lives as well? So there are people like that. Look out for them. Some you need to pay, some you need to serve them. Don't go with help me for free. Everybody has problems, right? So it's true. So find a way, and as a young person, you can serve. You have energy. You can be there. I just told you now that there are some people I handle their social media well, right? I don't charge them. Yet it costs me millions to employ people to do all that I need to do for them to manage their reputation, right? Because many of them were scared to come online, right? Because of how social media works. But it's that you have been able to do it, and you are also doing well in business. So handle it for us, and I've been doing for a few. But the next change as well is now giving access to say, can you advise me on this? Can you advise me on this? So everything is not money, but make sure you are bringing value to the table. To the second question about advice for media practitioner on building wealth. My advice is you guys are sitting on money, and sometimes I wonder, I wonder what is going on with you because you are in the digital asset generation. The most paying real estate now, one of the most paying real estate now is not physical real estate, it's digital real estate. Right? It's digital real estate. Media is no longer conventional on all this conventional TV. It's now online. And every day you have tons and tons and tons of content. Every day. Tons and tons and tons of content. Every day. Right? Do you know how much you can generate from that? You interview wealthy people. You can do a lot of behind the scene. If you come here now with an assistant, your company has asked you to come and shoot what I said. But an assistant can be capturing clips and all of that. You put that on YouTube, boom, right? You are having, if you understand the algorithm and all of that, you are having 20,000 views. Before you know it, YouTube is paying you 5,000 every month, 10,000 every month, 20,000 every month. Do you know how many events you cover every day? Right? So, my people are complaining millionaire. It's on Amazon, it's on my website. How you can leverage on this amazing information you keep gathering every day and literally turn it to wealth for yourself. So, must everybody do real estate? I think everybody has to. because everybody must live somewhere, right? You can't sleep on in the street. You have to live somewhere. So we all have to do some form of real estate investment. It can be private. Everybody must not do public because what we do is more of, well, we do beyond private. We've turned it to a business now that is now out there. But you can have your own private real estate portfolio. Okay, you build 10 unit houses, tenants are paying you, right? You buy some land here, 5 years later you flip. You do, there are a lot of little, you have some little cash, you give it to a credible real estate company and say, go and be doing business with it and give me returns. We do that, we have several people who give us money, right? 100 million here, 200 million there, 50 million there, and say, use it and expand your real estate business, give me 20% every year. That's how we grow. Every business grows with somebody's money,
Okay.
one way or the other.
Okay, so there's a question of partnership.
With as many people, with joint ventures, with other real estate companies, we are very open. We're as open as open can be. And we built a good reputation, people trust us, and we're willing to work with both private and public people. The only rule is that you must come with value, you must have integrity, you cannot afford to inflate things. Sometimes I even think to show you the proof of our desire to partner. A lot of time I will hear that the company is looking for land in a place. They didn't send me message, but I will carry it and put it on my social media page. But do you notice what I noticed? Many of the brief they get from me is the inflated one. Say it's Dr. Stephen, the man get me. Triple it. Right? So how do we then do partnership? When I'm blackmailed. So, but we are very much open to partnership. Some will now have to do without people knowing I'm behind it because once they see my name now, they are ready to. Yeah, they go deliver Nigeria, right? As to the Robin Hood, so calling me the Robin Hood of real estate, I'm um, I think I would say we're a responsible organization, and I think what we do is what everybody should do. If you are making money, add value to the people as well, right? Don't just make money and think people don't matter, even if they can't afford what you sell, because a lot of what we sell is not that cheap. Until we start getting partnership with government, that's when we can start selling affordable housing. I've said it over time. Affordable housing anywhere in the world is not the job of private sector. Anywhere in the world, except they want to steal at the end of the day, they are lying to you, or they are just, I call them polypreneur. They are politicians who are also doing business, right? So they're just using that to kind of buy your love, and then later on they will go to politics and they will collect it back 1 million times. But in reality, that's of basic maths. Affordable housing cannot be done by somebody in the private sector. If you are buying the land at an expensive price, how can it be cheap? We are in Banana Island here now. To buy a land here now is sold in dollars. I hope you know, right? 600 square meter where you and I are seated now. So one of you now, where you are seated, as I speak to you, right? The square foot where you are seated, you can look at the ground. That square foot now is going for, I think, is it 2,000 per square foot? 5,000 per square foot. No, yeah, that's like 3 years ago. So now they are selling it between $2,000 to $5,000 per square foot in this area here. So how can someone now do affordable house and says he cares for the poor?
Affordable house can't be banana.
Okay, you can. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me finish now. I love what you have just said. In Ikorodu, a land with sea or boat, right? How much does it go for? A land with sea or boat. In the same Ikorodu, it's not less than 5 million, except it's a fake land.
with C of O. I mean, you can't build land.
Okay,
You
you said
can't
without
build
sales.
a land with C of O now.
No, they said without sales. That 5 minutes without sales.
Without C of O. You hear now. So I'm even outdated. Right? So the one with C of O most likely is almost 10 million. So land alone, 10 million. Oh yeah, what we build on it? Now, how many people can even afford 10 million? Let's be honest now. How many people can even afford 10 million? How many poor people can afford 10 million for land alone?
Middle class.
That's my point. So we are open to partnership even with government, right? And we're hoping at some point, and with private sector as well. We know individuals who come to us and say, I have this good land in a choice place, come and use your money and build on it. And we share the profit. We are open to that. Once there's integrity, once we can vouch for who is behind it, not the one that will build the house, you take us to court and use your power to make us house. So, but if people have integrity and they are sure they have integrity, we are willing to partner.
Okay. So
It's very important. Who were mentioned those days? Maslow talked about the hierarchy of needs. One of the basic ones is accommodation. Even if you look at things, every animal must sleep, even ants do sleep. Human beings must have a way to put down their head and must put their two eyes. Otherwise, they can't work the next day. I found out, unfortunately, the police, the government came out with the intention of selling government property, federal government property, sold police barracks. It was a mistake they made. And when I became IG, I found policemen were sleeping in abandoned vehicles, in the office, and so on and so forth. With that, they could not give a test. Some had a family is somewhere in the village, he is in Abuja, sleeping inside the vehicle. A campus family. So I came up with this point. I looked at it, I found that the mistake made by government should be corrected. Every civil servant pays 2.5% of his salary every month to federal housing project. Federal housing fund it was called. This means every policeman was entitled to 5 million naira at that time had to build a house or to buy a house or to buy land. So I wrote the president and insisted the policemen should be given accommodation, policemen should be given houses, federal government houses. We didn't have. I had to build. And I wrote to all the governors, every governor rented land to police. Federal government, federal money bank, where this money was to be saved, have to give policemen each. But you want to give them money that's food. So the key into housing program. So I found the to start housing program. And I came up with that policy too, and I said, because the mobility of the police officers, if you are living in Abuja, for example, because of rank, it can be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, depending on your rank and what can afford. If you are working in Abuja, you're a constable, and you have a house in Abuja, maybe 1 or 2 bedroom in Abuja, that are back to Sokoto or Mutugri, you're not going to live, you're not going to sleep a bed. You rent out this money, rent out the house in Abuja, take it and rent the house in Sokoto. So you have to go and sleep that vehicle. Do the enough, do it activities. And one of the things that I did before I left the service. And moving on now, you see police houses coming up everywhere.
thank you very much, sir.
To support the society, but to give back to societies, we have internship for people. Maybe you're just leaving the university or you need a job, whatever it is. I remember that one of the press members asked a question about how can you, as a person, how can you begin to grow yourself and become a better person for the society and also your family and yourself. So we have this internship program which Dr. Steven spoke about, where you come here and we give you the space of 6 months. within those 6 months, you are going to learn a lot. There are a lot of lined up activities for you to begin to grow yourself to be a better person. So we have different subsidiaries. So from there, we also have this kind of talent management to know where exactly are you. So we have Gtext Homes, we have Gtext Land, we have Gtext Suites, we have Gtext and Associates, we have Gtext, we have Similakitaya Consulting, and they also have GBS as well. So those are our subsidiaries. So when you come into that space, you would, within the 6 month period of time, when you go through different activities, we'll be able to deduce where do you really fit. Do you fit into the investment aspect? Do you fit into the Similakitaya Foundation? Then we'll put you into each subsidiary to help you as well develop yourself. We have a lot of people that have gone through it, coppers, different people just leave. It doesn't matter what you study from school, just come here. We have enough to equip you to have a better, brighter future.
And we also provide accommodation for those people for that 6 months and give them certificates. So some we retain, and those we don't even retain are now able, they are now employable because they've now had experience. So all this, I don't have experience, at least you're able to quote it and say, I worked here, I achieved this. And also during the internship, we've had people who were able to make 10 million in that 6 months, 20 million in that 6 months because we give commission, and the commission is as high as 10%, of whatever they're able to sell. So we're able to have people in that 6 months able to sell properties and make good money for themselves. So it's a major program that we're proud of. That is also even helping the labor force, particularly in that, generally, some of them end up even working in other companies outside real estate as well.
Is there any deal to that, like for the registration? Is there anything else?
Payment.
No, we don't charge. So the 6 month internship, we don't charge any amount at all, and we provide accommodation, and they have opportunity to earn commission, but there's no basic salary to it, except for those in the construction sector, maybe architects, surveyor, and all that. Some of them give us a little stipend, or those who are NYC, core members. But others are able to come, even if you have graduated 10 years ago and you just need to learn more about real estate. You want to start your own real estate one day, you have passion for the sector, or even want to work for GTEX, but they are not directly taking you. After that, prove yourself in that 6 month internship, and guarantee, and your employment is automatic.
For the 16th anniversary of Gtext Holdings and Stephen Akitayo's Foundation. And I also want to remind us of what the vision of the company is. The vision of the company is to foster sustainable and healthy living to billions all around the globe. And our mission is to provide healthy and sustainable living through our subsidiaries in real estate, tech, media, entertainment, tourism, investment, and so much more. And this has been our guiding principle on how we operate. And currently, because we are on a global stage, I want to just let the member of press know that we are actually a global company, an international organization, and we're in 4 different continents in the world. And our vision 2035 is also to expand across all new continents in the world, internally, country by country, and also state by state. And that's why in Nigeria, we are currently covering 3 different regions and now expanding towards the east, and also expanding to different countries across Africa. Currently, we are only in Nigeria, but towards the end of the year, we'll be expanding to Rwanda, to Uganda, and as well to Ghana, as well as Kenya. So these are the steps that Gtext Holdings is taking, and that's why we're talking to the press, just to let you know that Gtext Holdings is here to create a company that is not only going to last 16 years, but it's going to outlive all of us, because we are creating a company that generations to generations to come will be able to say, this is a company that has a zero to hero story, from how you can build wealth from nothing, from 1,000 naira to $1 billion corporation. So thank you so much, members of press.